Alright, well, that was kind of an interesting open carry walk. Saw a few cops drive by, but we didn't really get too much trouble. Kind of uneventful. Looks like we got a few looks though from people driving by. There were definitely a few cops that came out that probably wouldn't have been there otherwise where they were located. Like there was a police officer that came up and parked in a parking lot where no one was. So I was, they wasn't in a position to get any kind of oncoming traffic for speeding or anything. So I didn't really think that he was just out there as part of his normal routine. But we didn't. No police officers even talked to us or anything. Didn't give us any trouble. So we also, the only gun-free zone sign that we saw was over at the football stadium. It said no firearms allowed. Of course, referring to inside the stadium, which is conflicting with what the University Police Chief John McCall told me. He told me that a gun-free or no guns allowed sign was posted at the edge of campus where we were, but that's not a sign that we ever saw. So, I mean, his justification for arresting someone who comes on campus with a gun and also impounding that weapon was based on him having a no guns allowed sign at the edge of campus. He said that's what justified him being able to do that. Basically, I'm kind of paraphrasing. I hope I'm not taking him out of context, but that's what he appeared to be saying. So we didn't see any of those, and I haven't seen any on the edge of campus. The only place I've seen them is on buildings, on doors. So that's basically the synopsis of the event today. I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and hopefully follow up with some more good videos. Thanks.
Yeah, they don't have the authority to put that sign up. I can assure you that. The last law that just went into effect August 1st of last year says they don't. Unless they can prove this is private property.
So we feel like they like to play both sides when it's convenient for them. They like to be public when they're handing out money.
That's exactly what they're doing. They want public funds, but they want private property rights at the same time. Right. You can't have both.
I got a chance to read Democracy in America by de Tocqueville yesterday, and he talked about how in France, around the time he was writing, they sold essentially free speech permits to members of the press. In order to publicize news and information, you had to buy a permit from the government. And in reading that, I thought that was just so absurd, because that right is so fundamental, and to imagine a world where you had to buy a permit to exercise that right is very, very just crazy to me. And at the same time, though, we live in a world where the fundamental right to bear arms is infringed because we have to buy a permit to exercise that fundamental right. So if you're serious about the Second Amendment, I really encourage you to look hard at gun permits and concealed carry permits and just decide if philosophically that makes sense to require citizens to buy a permit from the government in order to exercise that fundamental right. Yeah, so this is where our right's end. Over here. It's the imaginary line. Just across it. That's all we want.